Welcome to another edition of the SHIB Worldwide 50/50 Raffle. Calling all in from Asia, India, Japan, China. Massive shout out to everybody coming in. Thank you so much for tuning in to another SHIB Worldwide 50/50 Raffle. Live from the Philippines! Yes, we are live from the Philippines. Growing a little bit of whiskers. The hair's kind of messy. We're short on water. It's really, really hot here. We're 33 degrees. Woo-wee! We have a about 30-kilometer wind gusts coming in from the ocean, which is keeping us pretty cool. But yeah, it's keeping us pretty dry as well. So anyone tuning in right now, we are for the entire community. So like, subscribe, and comment. It costs you nothing, and the rewards are plentiful. If you look at the bottom, it says disclaimer. We're not a broker or an analyst, therefore we can't offer you any investment advice whatsoever. This is for entertainment purposes only. Everything collected from the Rumble, Facebook, YouTube, 80% of it goes directly into your accounts, right? So you benefit from it. We're reducing SHIB circulating supply. So if you hold SHIB, you benefit. If you hold SHIB, you benefit from the reduction in SHIB circulating supply. Absolutely. So everybody wins in this raffle. Everybody wins coming into the channel. So it costs you nothing to take part into the channel. I expect every single person to tell all their friends and family, everyone that they know about the SHIB, not about the raffle, about the channel. Because it benefits those that buy SHIB, right? So everybody who buys SHIB has a particular set of circumstances, and we'll cut the music. I hear you loud and clear. We'll cut the music. Yes, this is SHIB Worldwide 50/50 Raffle. Normally we would go into a dramatic pose as an introduction, but it's 42 seconds long, and it's a little long. And we'll get into it just shortly, but we are here to talk about the next draw, because this draw, we'll go to the website. Where are you? Where is my website? Okay, so we'll share the link. Boom. And we are about 20 minutes late coming into the SHIB Worldwide 50/50 Raffle, but that's okay, because we weren't able to host an event for the last little bit, right? So, and we'll go into settings. We'll go into statistics. Our statistics draws give us an information of how many people come into the site. Right now, we have 648 viewers since October 2nd. In order to be successful in this raffle, we need at least 300,000 hits a day on the website. So the website is SHIB 50/50 Raffle. No, yeah, SHIB5050raffle.com. So that again is SHIB 5050raffle.com. Everybody should be telling everybody about it. That's how you become successful at making sure that we sell at least 21,000 tickets. If we have 300,000 viewers, we probably get around 100 to 200,000 tickets sold a day. Just so you know, 21,000 tickets is the minimum before we host an event. So in order to host an event, we would need 21,000 tickets sold. That gives you approximately, it's actually less than that, but it's 550 million SHIB, over 550 million SHIB that would be reduced today if we were to host 21,000 ticket sales. That means that somebody would win 550 million SHIB for taking part in today's events. Plus, then we reduce the SHIB circulating supply by 550 million SHIB would be reduced in a single event. So the more we sell, the more we're able to host, and it does cut down on the amount of tickets available as well. So the more we sell, the less tickets available for the next draw, and then so forth and so forth. So it gives you that reduction and that stability in reduction of the circulating supply, which is increasing your value every time we reduce the circulating supply. So we've got to keep that in mind. Will it reflect in the price? No, not right away. I suspect what will happen is what's happened in the past. You'll see a 25 to 30% drop in price, followed by an enormous uptick in what you'll see is a double dip and then an instant green candle. Okay, as more and more people become scared of not being able to get in because the supply is being cut literally in half. So it's actually happening faster, right? So within a short period of time, we would be reducing SHIB circulating supply by 550. Next day could be 100 million SHIBs being reduced. Not 100 million, 1 billion SHIB being reduced, then 3 billion, 4 billion, and climbing from there. So that people are like getting scared now that they're going to miss out on the biggest event of their lifetime because SHIB is reducing its circulating supply on a much grander scale. That makes any sense to anybody? So as more fear builds into the liquidity pool, more and more people become afraid they're not going to be able to catch on to it. So it drives that FOMO even increasingly higher. And then they find out that it's constantly reducing circulating supply every single day. This is going to add even more fear of missing out. So it's going to create more FOMO. This is going to drive the price even higher. That means that we're going to have more tickets available. Absolutely. But if we reduce the amount right now, if we were able to get those people to come in and then take part in the raffle, that would increase your chances of winning. It would increase your chances of being extremely wealthy very fast at this price. So this is why it's very important to weigh your options of when you want to see this explode. So that's the whole purpose of the raffle. The raffle is to increase your wealth, right? Yeah. So we want to make sure that everybody has a chance to win in the raffle, and that means everybody has to be in SHIB in order to do so. So that's why we have a massive driving force. And we want to do massive shout-outs to Jason Cox, massive shout-out to Rowena, massive shout-out to, hey, Jason. Woo! I was so worried about you yesterday because I was watching the fires in Oklahoma. It looks like most of them are grass fires. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm not sure if that's going away from you, but it looked like it wasn't going toward the city or cities. It's going towards the farmers, which is not good for farmlands, but at least it's away from major metropolises. So the maximum amount of damage is, limited. There was a few homes that were destroyed. I'm not sure if, and our prayers, and like we said before, our prayers go to those in Oklahoma City. Everyone that's suffering right now from war or being bombarded, all our prayers go to you as well. We want to make sure that we don't leave anyone behind. Of course, we want to make sure everything's good. 175 homes were lost. Ouch. Ooh, that's a lot. That's a lot. That's expensive too, right? I heard that a lot of them are renters. Is that true, Jason? Okay, because renters don't usually have contents insurance. And just so everybody's aware, contents insurance covers about $175,000 worth of damages to your goods and services that you have purchased. And it doesn't, don't know. Okay, so just so that everybody's aware that contents insurance is not, it's relatively cheap to pay for monthly, but it's just an added cost, right? So most people don't get renters insurance or contents insurance. But from what I heard, that the Red Cross is helping out with that. And of course, we want to help out as much as we can. But our hands are kind of tied. We have to sell tickets in order to have money. So in order for us to help out with that kind of aspect of it, but we can definitely say prayers, and we can definitely ask for guidance from Jesus Christ to help us out, proclaim that, so that we can help others get the help that they need and get the support that they require from their institutions and from the Red Cross, of course. Without being further ado, we'll get right into today's session. Today's session is about buying tickets. I know we talked about that yesterday, about buying tickets. We did talk about gold versus SHIB, which is interesting in its own right. What's the difference between gold and SHIB? The main focal point is gold is continually being mined. SHIB is constantly reducing its circulating supply. If you look at those aspects of it, we should be climbing on an astronomical level to a certain point. Once we get to that point, we should have a breakdown of traders trying to get in and out. The reason why that is because if it's looked upon as gold later on, you don't want to miss that opportunity to get in. Gold right now has got I think a $30 trillion market cap. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it's pretty high. Bitcoin has a $1.6 trillion market cap currently. So it's way off of gold, even though gold is being mined every day, but there's more asset store of value because it's tangible asset, right? So if it has a tangible asset and it's been around for a millennium, more people are used to using gold as an asset class. And it's being used for jewelry, but Bitcoin, you can buy and sell goods and services right now through Bitcoin. So it still has the same applications as gold. And yes, it has not been adopted by the World Economic Forum, but it will be very, very shortly.
You found it, huh?
Because what happens is even though Bitcoin is minting or mining.
Daddy is late. I'm gonna ask the daddy. Get out. Excuse me. It's not public.
It's not public?
Yeah.
It is now.
I cannot see it. On mine.
Make sure you come into the, yeah.
Okay, I'll check it. I tried many times. Nothing here. Oh. You're supposed to get that notification.
You're supposed to be notified.
No, notification is on the bill.
Yeah, why isn't it going through? Jason Cox is on.
Yeah, before I open. I'll go find it.
Anyway, yeah, that was the wife. She said that she couldn't find me on the channel, Jason. Massive shout out to Jason, by the way. Massive shout out to Rowena, Wen, Babes. Paul, Vincent, massive shout out to all the friends and family in the Philippines. Massive shout out to Ramel, Rainier, Kuya Alex, Helen, his wife, and their kids, Alan and Nardo. Massive shout out to you. Massive shout out to, I'm going to miss somebody here. Mark Joven, massive shout out to you. Like I said, everybody, all the Navarro family, massive shout out to you. Massive shout out to those in the area. Massive shout out to the whole entire Philippines. Massive shout out to Indonesia, Madagascar, Africa, everybody in Africa, the Congo. Massive shout out to South Africa. Massive shout out to Nigeria. Massive shout out to Bangladesh. I've got viewers from Bangladesh. Can you believe it? Massive shout out to Israel. Massive shout out to Sudan. Massive shout out to Egypt. Massive shout out to Turkey, Greece, Spain, France. Massive shout out to who else is there? There's lots. Finland, Sweden, Dutch. Massive shout out to Italy. Right. Don't want to leave out Italy. The Holy Land of Rome. Right. Everybody remembers Rome. And then massive shout out to Jerusalem. That's part of Israel. And everyone on the Gaza Strip, massive shout out to you. We want everyone to be successful with money. Now, everyone meaning everyone that's not in politics, a politician, all banking is set aside, right? We want to make sure the people become wealthy. That's the whole point of this, right? It's to share that knowledge and information. Massive shout out to Germany. I don't want to leave out Germany. Russia, I don't want to leave you out either. The people who make everything happen, the workers, right? We want to make sure that the workers have a chance of becoming financially independent. And they can be if you support the SHIB Worldwide 50/50 raffle. The raffle means that everybody wins. This was the only raffle in the entire world where everybody wins, or everybody has a chance of winning. I want to make sure. Hey, there's Babe's channel. Mega love and shout out to everybody. Mega love shout out to. That's right. Mega love shout out to everybody. We want to make sure that everybody that comes in is warm and feels welcomed here. We don't want to get into politics. This is not about being being into politics. This is about what making you extremely wealthy, happy, because when you're wealthy, you're happy, right? Everybody agree with that kind of concept? It opens up so many doors when you have more money. Absolutely. So we want to make sure that everybody has a chance to take part and see what we're all about. And we're all about trying to make you happy, trying to get you wealthy, so that everybody has that formality where they don't have to worry about money. And can everybody be wealthy? Absolutely. In SHIB, anything is possible. Everything is at the doorsteps, just waiting for an explosion to happen. The more people coming in, the more we reduce. It's that simple, right? You got to remember that each person becomes a wallet address. That wallet address holds a certain amount of SHIB. If it's only 1 million, 2 million SHIB, their target price isn't $1, it's $2, $3, right? So keep that in mind. The more people who come in and buy 1 million is actually better for the entire SHIB community. It's true, because your out is going to be $1 to $2, $3, $4, $5. It's going to have that instrumental value to it. So you have to keep that in mind. And then how many of them would buy it? Listen, certain amount of SHIB is being held right now. And yes, their out is going to be a lot less than $1. Okay. But 500 million people buying 1 million is 500 trillion SHIB. Just 1 million, 500 million people buying one, and that's still less than 1% of the world. It's still less than 1% of the world population, by the way. So can everybody be wealthy? Absolutely, everybody can be wealthy. That's right, Jason. Everybody's welcomed here. Anyone who wants to make money, you're in the right place. You don't want to make money, please vacate. You don't need to make money. You're already made your money. You're good. Okay. We only want people who want to make money in here. That's the whole point of it, right? So we're all part of the big SHIB community. The family, yes. Right now, yes. This is a family orientation, right? So yes, as the price grows, it becomes complex, because we have people vacating SHIB for greener pastures. I don't know why they would go to a greener pasture when your value is being increased exponentially. Because remember what I said before, the closer we get to that $1 dream, or everybody calls it the 1 cent dream, all of a sudden you have massive utility. Every organization on the planet is going to start reducing SHIB on a granular scale. Now, when we get to that $1, $2, $3, that goes way, way down. We go to $10. It's still decreasing the circulating supply, but now it's doing it at a much slower rate. But we have more, makes sense. We have more organizations reducing SHIB circulating supply, thus adding value every second, not every couple of days, not 1 million, 2 million SHIB being reduced. No. We're talking millions to billions of SHIB being reduced on a granular scale. So the closer we get to the $10, the more SHIB is being reduced, and then it starts to slow down into a fraction of a SHIB. But it's still being reduced from every organization on the planet to increase their wealth. So it's always going to be reducing its circulating supply, always adding value to SHIB. That's why we said, what's the difference between gold and SHIB? SHIB is reducing its circulating supply on a granular scale. Gold isn't, right? So what is the difference? One is tangible, one is digital. The one that is digital has more value. Why? It can be transferred quickly. And that transfer is still being reduced in circulating supply. So every time you do a transfer of wealth from one bank or one institution to another, there's a burn mechanism built in. So you got to keep that in mind. Right now, we are not at that point. We are less than a cent. So we're never going to see that until we get to 1 cent, 10 cents, 15 cents, 20 cents. Then you're going to see it start to pick up a lot. But it's not going to explode until we get to that $1, $1.20, $1.30, $1.50. Then you're going to see massive adoption with SHIB. Every single organization that has anything to do with SHIB, because right now you can buy a Mercedes, you can buy a BMW, you can buy high-end dream cars, right? But who's going to spend that kind of SHIB to buy a dream car, like a Ferrari F-140, Nobody is. The amount of SHIB that you would need is astronomical, and it's just not feasible at this point. And what's the reduction? All the reductions are nice because of the amount of money you're spending on the car. But you got to remember, you're paying over and above the price of the vehicle, and then they're reducing what you paid for that vehicle on commission. So there's a commission on top of a commission that you're paying for with your SHIB. So you're losing money if you use it right now. If you use it to buy, that's the same thing with a burger. If you use SHIB to buy a burger right now, it's going to cost you a lot of SHIB, right? Millions of SHIB to buy one burger. It just doesn't, or hundreds of thousands of SHIB to buy a burger. It just doesn't it's not feasible. So yes, you can, and yes, you can get your SHIB out of a BTC machine. There's over 80,000 BTC machines that accept SHIB as payments, and thanks to BitBuy. So if you didn't know that, that's one huge aspect of the ecosystem development team, what they've done for SHIB. Massive shout out to them for doing that. And they're the ones that came up with the burn mechanisms also. So massive shout out for them for doing that purpose on that aspect of it. So massive shout out to them for doing that. We were supposed to get a signature from Robinhood on the reduction of SHIB circulating supply. That has not happened, just so that you're aware. They are acquiring more SHIB, and we're waiting for the numbers to come out on just how much that is. Last little bit, they've added 5 trillion SHIB to their wallets. Now, a lot of people are going to say, oh, that's because people bought 5 trillion. Think about this, is millions, hundreds, and it's approximately 20 to 30 million dollars worth of, 30 million USDT is nothing to joke about. And for people to buy that much SHIB, the numbers would be astronomical. Right now, we are not in that category because we've only added approximately 5,000 new wallet addresses, and we are still not in that 1,551,000 yet area. We're close, but we're not quite there yet. So once we break above the 1,502,000 SHIB wallet addresses, then we're in new territory, right? We're in new climax. And SHIB should be climbing exponentially. With the SHIB Worldwide 50/50 raffle at its doorsteps, people should be coming in droves in SHIB. That's the truth of it. I don't know if anyone else feels the same way. Massive hands up if you feel the same way, that SHIB Worldwide 50/50 raffle should be climbing in not just support, but popularity, right? We should be like climbing to the roof. And the reason why that is we're the only raffle in the world that would be reducing, and happy to support everybody in the SHIB community with making everybody extremely wealthy. That's hands down what we're all about. We're trying to increase everybody's wealth, growth, like all three things at once, right? You're bringing in more people, you're reducing the circulating supply on a granular scale, you're adding to the excitement, you're boosting the information that's coming out on a daily basis. It doesn't matter what people say about it anymore. It doesn't matter what the facts are. The facts. The reductions happening on a daily basis. We're bringing in more people on a daily basis in SHIB because everybody wants to take part in making money. There isn't a single soul out there that doesn't want to make money unless you're crazy and you've made all the money you've wanted and you're a broker or a financial institution. Even those people want to make money daily. The only ones that don't want to make money, where is all the SHIB family? Exactly. Where's the 5 million supporters for projects that are reducing SHIB circulating supply? And it's not like we don't like the SHIB development team or ecosystem development team. It's just that they don't keep their promises. So when you don't keep your promise, what happens? You fall out of favor. And when you fall out of favor, do you listen to them? Well, they still have a massive following. Yeah, pizza. Yeah, May 22nd. Everybody know what May 22nd means? Right, Jason? I know you like to point that out, that the pizza day. Bitcoin Pizza Day. That's right. May 22nd, Bitcoin Pizza Day. Someone took is it 60,000? 60,000 and bought 2 pizzas with it. He sent 60,000 Bitcoin to someone's wallet. All he did was transfer the Bitcoin to his wallet, and the guy sent him 2 pizzas for his family because he had no money available at that time. So he asked somebody to please 60. Can you imagine 60 million Bitcoin? Not 60 million, 60,000 Bitcoin worth billions of dollars right now. So can you imagine? That's exactly what you don't want to do with SHIB. Exactly, Jason. Thank you for pointing that out. That's awesome. Yeah, because May's just around the corner, right? And that's a hint to everybody. When you're reducing the circulating supply, you're adding value to SHIB every single time we reduce. Every time we get new wallet holders, we're also adding value to SHIB. It's just that our catalyst isn't driving demand, and it should be. Everybody should be wanting to pile into SHIB from around the world. Every single person from around the world should be trying to buy SHIB, trying to find a way to get into SHIB. Now, if you're in Asia, we recommend OKX. Now, it's only because OKX owns 10 trillion SHIB. Okay, now we don't know if they own it for themselves, but the support is there for the SHIB community on OKX. So that's why we recommend OKX. Now, can OKX bust tomorrow? We don't know, right? That is up to everybody. But if they hold that much SHIB, that gives them what? What can we say about them if they own 10 trillion SHIB? Massive, massive solidarity. They are a solid foundation based on owning SHIB, which is increasing its value every single day. Now, unfortunately, guys, I'm so sorry, but that is not being sought after in the marketplace. So the price action in SHIB is not being looked upon as the value is added on a daily basis. And that's so sorry. It's unfortunate, but this is what we talk about all the time on the channel. It doesn't reflect the price. Value does not reflect the price. If we were to get the SHIB 50-50 raffle going, 300,000 viewers, and then climbing from there, going to the website, checking out the channel, checking out Rumble, checking out all the aspects of what we do, what we're trying to talk about, what we want to see from everybody is the support for the channel. Remember that 80% of everything that we take in from these channels, from YouTube, from everything that talks about SHIB is being reduced to 80%. 80% is given back to the community. And you didn't have to do anything. All you do is come in and check us out, say hi, do like Jason Cox is doing. Just take part. Same thing with Babe's channel. Everybody just take part and be part of something bigger than yourselves, right? By reducing the circulating supply, we increase everybody's wealth. Now, everybody's wealth being value added to SHIB. Absolutely. The price will follow eventually because more people coming in, more people seeing what we're doing, more people proving that we actually are reducing SHIB circulating supply every single day would increase everybody's potential aspect of what we're trying to do here, which is increase your wealth. Remember that we're here for you. We're not here for us. We're here for you. Every single SHIB holder, every single SHIB follower, every single SHIB enthusiast. We're here for you. We're trying to make sure that you make your money. We're not here to talk about charts. There's AV, there's Lucky Side, Clay Bro. They talk about the charts. They talk about the RSO. They talk about the RSI. They talk about the Bollinger Bands. They go into the charts and they give you the breakdown. We are long-term holders. Long-term holders don't talk about charts. We talk about reducing SHIB circulating supply, adding value, adding price to action. As long as we host, the value is being added in a dramatic fashion, right? That's the whole purpose of this. Is everything's supposed to be in dramatic fashion. So you're increasing your wealth exponentially every single day that we reduce SHIB circulating supply. Absolutely. Now that's our guarantee, is that we're adding value every single time we reduce SHIB circulating supply. Is that going to eventually come over into the price action? Absolutely. Vladimir Guterin proved it. 410 trillion SHIB sent to the reduction wallet in a single transaction. That's awesome. 410 trillion. Think about it. That's a massive amount. What happened with SHIB? SHIB shot up. And then it went to all-time highs. And then people started to realize that, hey, no one else is reducing SHIB circulating supply. SHIB started to sell off. Now, people were still selling it when they were burning billions of SHIB, which is ridiculous. In my personal opinion, that's ridiculous. Why would you do that when you know that when Vladimir Buterin burned 410 trillion, the price action went back up? But more people were reducing it, the people were just ignoring it and just selling off because they're afraid that they were going to, SHIB's going right back to where it started. Because majority of the cryptocurrencies do the exact same thing. They sell off in massive volumes. But the truth of the matter is, SHIB's still reducing its circulating supply. It doesn't matter. It's still adding value. So whether you like that or not, it's still adding value. But they're afraid that it's like every other cryptocurrency. And that's why we're here to tell you it's not like every cryptocurrency. It's in uncharted territory. It's the only currency in the world that's reducing its circulating supply because it has no chance of replenishing that supply. It's literally reducing it, gone forever. Once those go to the dead-end wallets, they are gone forever. There's no retracement of those. And thank you to Vladimir Buterin. Massive shout out to Vladimir Buterin. Massive shout out to Binance for reducing 4 billion SHIB. Massive shout out to Vladimir Buterin. Not a lot of people caught on to the tax implications that Vladimir Buterin did. Remember that he did this to avoid paying taxes, and he was successful on doing that. He took the 500 trillion SHIB that he was given, and he basically gave it back to the whole SHIB community, which is a massive. Anyone doing that is actually increasing your wealth. Exponentially, he increased everybody's wealth. Now, unfortunately, it stopped, and we saw a downtick because of the whole crypto marketplace took a downtick. It wasn't because of anything else. It's just that the cryptocurrencies are not used to a currency that's reducing its circulating supply constantly. They were not used to it. So, and they don't understand the dead-end wallets. They still don't. And it's been around for 4.5 years. It's done it since 2021 of June. So, and that's how many years ago? That's 4 years ago, right? In June, it'll be 4 years since Vladimir Buterin did that, and we still haven't caught on to it. People still aren't aware of it. And then we have other people come out and say, well, it's reducing that circulating supply, but it's doing it very, very slowly. It's going to take hundreds of years to actually make a difference in the supply chains at the rate that we're going. And I would say that is true, but it also means that we are in new chartered territory. If that makes any sense to anyone, please give me a hands up. So the uncharted territory is SHIB, and not everybody knows about it. And how do you know that? 1.5 million out of 8 billion people on the planet. There's not a single soul out there that doesn't want to make money. So if everybody wants to make money, and there's only 1.5 million, so what is the potential for SHIB to climb to extraordinarily new values? It's increasing. Every single day it increases. So when we did the pot or the pressure cooker, it was to tell you that, yes, we are on the cusp of a massive breakout every single day. Not it's hour by hour basis. It's on the cusp. So the more people who know about it, the faster it's going to climb. Now, does that scare the ecosystem development team? Absolutely, because all that money would now float to SHIB. Everybody that's in cryptocurrencies would instantly move their funds from those exchanges into SHIB. That's what scares the development team because they're afraid that SHIB is going to take over as the market leader in cryptocurrency. And by all means, it should. In theory, SHIB should never go down. Absolutely. SHIB should go through the roof. Why? Well, 1.5 million out of the entire world, that's insane. 10 million is still insane. 100 million. 100 million would give us solidification into being a country. That would solidify us as a country. Then we become legitimate. Okay? Once we have 100 million in SHIB currency, now we're a country. Now we're a force to be reckoned with. Now you're going to start seeing those massive liquidity pools start to formulate. And we would still be growing exponentially because now everybody's starting to realize, yes, we are reducing SHIB circulating supply. And now we're reducing it quickly. And especially if we're under that 1 cent area, we would still be massively reducing SHIB circulating supply because now everybody's using it as what? A utility-based currency. So it's going to drive the price up. Now, will it succeed 1 cent on 100 million? It should, around the 10 cent to 20 cent range. Now, does that mean we have the same supply that we have now? Probably not. How much can we see it reduced? Well, if SHIB 50/50 Raffle has anything to do with it, we would be there within a year, right? Think about it. If we did the minimum, Jason, of burn reductions, okay, so it's like 21,000 SHIB tickets sold, which is ridiculous. 21,000 tickets sold per day, 550 million. That's if the price were to remain where it's at right now, 555 million SHIB per day. In 7 days, we would burn what? 4 billion SHIB. Not a lot, right? But 4 times 12, no, that would be a week, right? 4 billion a week. So 4 billion a week times that by 4, that gives you a month, right? That's 16 billion SHIB. That's if the price were to remain the same. 16 billion and 16 times 12. That gives you your mark, right? So we're burning almost 2 trillion SHIB a year. Okay, who else is burning 2 trillion SHIB a year? And that's the minimum. By the way, everybody, that's the minimum. The 21,000 tickets sold, that's the minimum. Okay, so at this price, we were expecting to take off already because we would be reducing SHIB circulating supply on a granular scale. As we reduce the circulating supply, somebody sees that 500, oh, there's a 500 million SHIB done, gone circulating. Next day, 550 million SHIB gone. Next day, 550 million SHIB gone. Wait a second, what the hell's going on? That's over a billion right there, right? In 2 days. In 3 days, 1.5, 1.6, 1.7 billion SHIB gone. In less than a week, right? In less than a week, we're seeing approximately 3 billion SHIB being turfed in a week. Now, remember when Blaze was doing it? When Blaze did it, it was a billion a week that they were reducing. They spent over $100,000, but they were the ones coming in with the burns in SHIB, but they also wanted Blaze recognition. They're also burning Blaze at the same time. You want to take part in solidifying yourself as a separate entity from everything. Stop burning your own. Reduce what you can. So if you came out with 1 trillion of your coins and you want to use SHIB, you should be doing it the smart way, the way that every other organization would do it, the exact same way. Take a portion of what you're taking in of profit and then use that to reduce SHIB circulating supply. Don't worry about your supply. And then, yes, post a wallet on your address so people can follow that address and see the link between the SHIB burn, and that would promote your coin or your tokenomics, because what you're doing is you're setting down a precedent saying we're going to constantly reduce SHIB circulating supply, thus adding value to the SHIB community. Then the SHIB community who's making money would also contribute to your success. But if you're doing it the opposite way, where you're reducing your own supply, everybody knows that once you get the popularity, you're going to switch sides and reduce your own circulating supply because it's all about you. But the problem that you're not understanding is you can mint just as much as you destroy. That's the problem with XRP. That's the problem with every other cryptocurrency out there. You can do that, but it doesn't add value to your currency. But reducing the SHIB circulating supply means that you're holding SHIB. Therefore, you're increasing your value, and it's no cost to you. So by doing it is actually increasing your value of your tokenomics or your coin. So if everybody would start to do that, they would start catching on. This is what we need to do to succeed. Exactly. Then everybody catches on to what you need to do to get your token out there. We don't do that. We don't come on here and try and sell a token. We already know we are holding the best currency in the marketplace. It's just that everybody hasn't caught on to it yet. And that's why we want to educate everybody in the world, right? If we sell 21,000 tickets, the minimum, we host an event. Right now, we haven't been able to host an event because we haven't got enough support from everybody to want to do that. And I still don't fathom it. We've been around since October, Jason? We've been here since October, and this should have caught on like a wildfire, and will help bring the whole community together as a nation, and to build us up so that we could become a currency that the world would take notice of. Because as we reduce, the more everybody would come in and take part in it, and that's the whole point of it. That's the whole gist of it. And that's where you can take that to the bank, right? Everybody can take that to the bank. Sorry for the Harry. Yeah, we'll go off on a tangent. So we want to make sure that every single person has an opportunity to make extraordinary amounts of money. And the only way to do that is in SHIB or reducing SHIB circulating supply. We wanted to get into the characteristics of why every cryptocurrency out there should be doing the exact same thing. Like every coin, every exchange should be buying massive amounts of SHIB. And the reason for that is it's going to solidify themselves as a market maker, not transcender, but a market maker. You're going to make money reducing SHIB circulating supply. So every single transaction that you're doing, you're reducing the SHIB circulating supply with it, thus adding value to your own currency. Does that make sense? Everybody get that? It hasn't caught on yet. It just hasn't caught on. They tried to do it, but they keep backstepping what they're supposed to be doing in the first place. And they're supposed to be focusing on SHIB. Instead of that, they focus on their own tokenomics. There's nothing wrong with focusing on your own projects. Absolutely. There's over 3,000 new ICOs being every single day. Not every month now, every single day. 3,000 new coins that want to try and make money, try and steal money away from the people that holds cryptocurrencies. We don't want to do that to anybody. We want to make sure that you make money. How do we do that? Make sure you take part. And it doesn't cost you anything to take part in the channel. Hit the like button, costs you nothing. Subscribe to the channel, costs you nothing. Make a comment saying, hi, I'm blah, blah, blah. I'm supporting the SHIB development team. I'm supporting SHIB. I'm supporting the channel. Thank you. Have a great and wonderful day. Massive love. Shout out to every single person that comes in. This is a place where you come in to make money. Period. We're not about anything else. We want to make sure that everybody here gets wealthy. That's it. That's what we're selling. That's the whole nuts and bolts of it. All we're doing is transferring money and reducing SHIB circulating supply in the process. That's all we're doing. That's all we provide here. There's no cut and dry anywhere. Okay? It's basically that simple. We're able to host a raffle event, reduce the circulating supply, give the winner or winners, depending on how many tickets we sell. In order to have two winners, what do we need to sell? 4,100,000 tickets. It seems like a lot, right, Jason? That seems like a lot, 4,100,000 tickets. But you got to remember that each of the tickets are only worth, right at this current point, 62 cents US, right? It's less than $1 per ticket. Now, we don't recommend that you buy one ticket because it's going to cost you over $1 to buy one ticket because you need Ethereum. Most, like Coinbase, they need Ethereum to transfer. To do the transfer, you need Ethereum. So it costs 50 cents for the transfer, 62 cents for the ticket, $1 something. It's not really feasible. 5 tickets, okay, it's going to cost you almost $3 US. It's a little bit more feasible, but we highly recommend that you spend the $12.70 for the 20 tickets. At least with the 20 tickets, it gives you more tickets per raffle draw. And are you going to take part in it every day? Probably not. But if you look at the worldwide spectrum of it, from 8 billion people on the planet, you might take part. One person might take part in it this week, next week. But we would sell over 100 million tickets every single day. Okay. And that's not if you buy a ticket. That's why if you buy a ticket once a week, right? Or once a month, that we can expect that much draw in. And then 100 million would reduce SHIB circulating supply by a massive amount, right? So 100 million tickets sold, we would have how many winners? Every 4,100,000 divided by, so you have 23 winners. Makes sense? 23 winners. If we sold the maximum amount of tickets, we have 129 winners at the current rate. So we'd have 129 winners. Each winner would get, we actually have 130 winners, but 129 of them would get the max, right? 1 million pounds worth of SHIB, which roughly right now would be like, I think it was 225 billion SHIB. So you think about that, 225 billion SHIB, each one of them. Now, how much would we reduce SHIB circulating supply by? 255 billion SHIB. Yeah, 255 billion SHIB sent to the dead end wallets. Imagine doing that every day. Can't happen. Next day would have 5 billion tickets available. If the price were to remain the same, I guarantee you sell that many tickets, the price is not anywhere near where it is right now. Okay. Could we see a dip 20%, 30% in the next couple of days? Absolutely. It's happened before where we see a massive drawdown, 20, 30%. That's because people, like I said before, are not educated at all. Like at all. Because that just added massive liquidity. But guess what happens after that? Massive weigh-ins on how far SHIB is going to go. And it's going to be God candles. I'm serious. It's going to be severe because not only is it happening once, but it's happening twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. By the time we get to 8, 9 times, the SHIB supply is cut down to in trillions, like a couple trillion. And then we're into the billions, guys. Like that's how quick it is. And then people start to realize that the scarcity is starting to unfold. And SHIB would hit easily 10 cents, 20 cents, 30 cents, 40 cents instantly from there. That's only because we're reducing SHIB circulating supply. And then we'd have 10 billion SHIB available, 10 billion tickets available again. Absolutely. Because SHIB now is into that range where we would have that many tickets available. And then, yes, we're able to reduce half of it if we're able to sell. But you got to keep in mind that, yeah, you're only spending 60 cents per ticket. It's still costing you only $12.70 to reduce. But the amount of SHIB that you're able to reduce at that point is dropped drastically as the prices increased. So please keep that in mind on the upside. I've also posted it on the website. I don't know if anyone's seen it. I'm going to be making a tutorial today. Please keep an eye out for it. It's going to be a video on how to buy SHIB 50/50 raffle tickets because I'm not sure if people aren't aware of how to buy them. I've told several times on how to buy your tickets. I went and explained it yesterday. What you do is you go to the website, you hit a ticket that you want to buy. Let's say you want to buy 5 tickets. It's going to cost 2.5 pounds. Or how much is it? We said, let's go into the website. It's broken down for you on the bottom of every page. 1 ticket is half a pound. US is in 62 cents, and Canadian it's 89 cents. 5 tickets is 2.5 pounds, $3.10, $4.45 in Canadian. 20 tickets is 10 pounds, $12.40, and $17.78 Canadian. So that's the breakdown of what it costs you, and then the amount of SHIB that you get on a 20 tickets is 1.1 million SHIBs. So per 20 tickets, that's phenomenal, by the way. That just tells you one point of the reflection of SHIB circulating supply. And that's the whole educational part of it, is that you understand. Just go to tickets available tickets here. I'll share the link. This is the breakdown. So I don't know if anyone's paying attention or not, but 1 ticket, 55,000 SHIBs, 10 billion tickets available. Now, if you look at it from 5,000, so that tells you the price of SHIB. Okay, 1 ticket, 5,000 SHIBs. That's 10 times where it is right now. 10 times, 10x from where it is right now. 5,000, from 55,000 to 5,000. And look at the difference in tickets. There's 116 billion tickets available at that price because it's based on what? The amount of SHIB in circulating supply. So the more SHIB that's in circulating supply, the higher the value, the more tickets that are available at a higher price. So that means that you're getting less for your money's worth. That's only because the price is reflected in it. Okay, so just so that you're aware of that, that's the whole purpose of it, is to drive that awareness home to everybody. Because once you get that understanding, then you understand. Once you get the understanding of that understanding, looky. Okay, so yeah, the whole purpose of that is to increase your knowledge base. Is basically what it is. It's to increase everybody's knowledge base. That reducing circulating supply is a true fact. The less supply, the less there is, the more value is added. That's the whole purpose of this. That's the whole drive me home understanding of it from the website. And that's what we're trying to post to everybody, that it's so important that everybody get that information and share that knowledge base with every single person on the planet, because we want to make sure that everybody has a chance to become extremely wealthy. In order to do that, you have to understand certain economic transitions that have to happen. But as you are aware of it, everybody will make money in it, because they understand that, oh, wait a second, without even buying a ticket, without even acknowledging the ticket fundamentals, you understand reduction in SHIB circulating supply on a granular scale has a massive influx on the amount of money that you're going to be able to make off of it. Makes sense? So that's the whole drive me home awareness. That's why I created this current available tickets. The more tickets we sell, the less available tickets that are available to the rest of the world. So you got to keep that in mind too. So every time we reduce SHIB circulating supply on a granular scale, there's less supply of tickets available to buy. If the price were to remain the same, if the price goes up, well, then the available tickets also goes up. But less supply drives awareness on a massive scale. So that would also build on the wealth creation factor. So everything we do here is to improve the knowledge base of everybody on the planet, so that everybody has a chance to be extremely successful. So nobody gets caught with their pants down. Because what's happening right now, we're all getting caught with our pants down because nobody is telling these people, listen, you're selling something of asset that has growth, value added daily. It's even better than gold, but it's not being reflected because nobody's talking about it. Well, I'm talking about it, but I'm the only one on the microphone, and no one else is talking about it. And somebody said that because I'm the only one talking on the microphone, that people are being turned off by that. I'm not reflective enough with the people that are coming in. But if you don't get people coming in and talking about it, how can you reflect on it? Unless everybody starts asking questions, right? Like Jason, we start asking questions back and forth, then we might get more people coming in. Same thing with Prince. Same thing with everybody. But everybody thinks that, oh, because I'm the only one talking, that I'm the only one that knows anything about SHIB circulating supply, or I know I'm the only one that keeps informed of what's going on. It doesn't matter what's going on with SHIB, right? SHIB's price goes up and down because of fluctuations in the marketplaces. People don't understand what they're buying or selling in SHIB. If that's the bottom line. If everybody understood what they were selling, there's no way that SHIB would be selling at these levels. Period. It just wouldn't happen. If you know you're holding value in gold and you're willing to sell your gold for $10,000 an ounce, when you know it's worth $3,000 an ounce, are you going to sell for $10,000 an ounce, Jason? Probably not. You're going to sell it at $3,000. Okay, you'll take a little bit of a haircut. Maybe you need the money right now, and you'll sell at $3,000 even, or $3,025, because right now it's at $3,047. So if it's at $3,047, the only way you would sell it is at $345, $344. If you want to wait for $348, you have to wait for it to actually get to $349 to sell it at $348. But majority of us would sell it exactly where the market tells us it's valued, right? Not going to sell it below the market value unless you're a nut. That's the whole point of it, right? And right now, who's buying? The two countries that are buying up the gold make 0 cents, right? Because they're sitting on the massive supply of gold in the world. Russia and China. Both communist countries are buying up all the gold because they see the problems economically throughout the world. When you see those problems in the world when it comes to the US dollar, because it's basically hedging against the US dollar, buying extraordinary amounts of gold, it's a direct hedge against the US dollar. That's why gold has gone up, because they're the ones buying it. And they're the ones also holding the massive supply of the gold in the world. And because US has come up with these tariffs, they are basically shorting the US dollar by doing so on a granular scale. So gold's going up. And the rest of the world hasn't caught on to it yet. I don't know why, but the majority of the pools have not caught on to that yet. They should be buying up more and more Bitcoin. They haven't, because that hedge should be to buy more Bitcoin, especially at these levels, because Bitcoin has more value than gold currently, only because of the supply is so low. Take it with a grain of salt. Anyway, I'm Will, your host. Thanks for tuning in and having a great day. Hope that everybody was excited about today's events so that we can get this kicking and going in the right direction, because we want to make sure that we have green candles going up, right? So in order to get the green candles to go up on a constant basis, we would need a lot more people to take part in the raffle draws. No, we need more people to start paying attention, period. The more people that come into the channel, the more people we drive to acknowledge base, so that everybody would win. It's a win-win-win situation. As more and more people come in, we're able to get more likes, more subscribers, more content. I asked about this before, about doing content, about doing or hosting special events where we give phones away, or roadblocks, or anything like that to drive our attention or our audience. I haven't gotten any response from the people who come in on a constant basis, Jason. I'm not too sure if that would help or not. I've seen other channels take off 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 subscribers in a very short period of time, just hosting roadblocks and giving away Apple cards, $10 Apple cards, $5 roadblocks, $10 roadblocks, $25 gift cards after 10,000 new subscribers. But my fear is that, yeah, you'll join the channel, only take part in that, and then after that you unsubscribe to the channel, because you can't keep that up, obviously. With the SHIB Worldwide 50/50 raffle, this is supposed to be astronomical, because it's going to benefit everybody in SHIB. So everybody in SHIB should be telling everybody in the world about this, because it's not about just a quick promotional scheme to try and grab your attention. And then that's my fear, that it would only be one-sided, and that people would miss out on the SHIB Worldwide 50/50 raffle in the first place, and what we're trying to communicate. Anyway, I'm Will, your host. Thank you so much for coming. Appreciate everybody who comes in and says hi. Massive shout out to Jason. Massive love shout out to you. God bless you. And we want to say prayers for your family and for yourself, that the fires have subsided and that they're blowing away from you. We hope that that's the case, and that they have the fires under control would be the other thing. So massive shout out to anyone that is hurting, suffering right now, of starvation or any of those things. We want to say a massive shout out prayer for you too. Anyone losing their homes is obviously in our prayers. Remember that we are all part in a massive global event, and we don't want to get the politics involved in anything that we say or do on the channel. We want to keep it separate, only because we're not in control of those things. The only thing we're in control of is helping each other out. That's the only thing that we're in control of. So we want to massive shout out, love to every single person on the planet. Massive love shout out to everybody. And then our prayers are with everybody who is suffering. Okay, so with massive shout out and love for Oklahoma, and God bless each and every one of them. We don't wish them any harm. With high winds and fire is just a deadly combination. And the 175 homes that were lost, yeah, it's horrifying. And our tears and our joy for prayers, and our joy. Funny, eh? A joy is for everyone who survives. Our joy goes out to the families that are able to connect and grow as a community, because usually when you have a forest fire or homes get wrecked, it builds on the community. So our joy is with the communities that are built afterward. And our joy is for SHIB to finally get recognition for what it is, and to get noticed from the 50/50 raffle standpoint. And thank you so much for participating in today's event. A massive love shout out. And we're going to say goodnight to everybody. Massive love shout out to everybody that comes in and says hi. Massive shout out to Jason Cox. Massive shout out to Bates Channel. Massive shout out Wena. Massive shout out Rowena. Massive shout out to Aiden. Massive shout out to Ethan. Massive shout out to Jason. Jason M. Ethan M. Aiden M. Massive shout out to Marchie. Massive shout out to Rainier. Massive shout out to his family. Massive shout out to Mark Joven. Massive shout out to Alex. Massive shout out to Lenny. Massive shout out to the complete and everybody within the Navarro family. Massive shout out to the Philippines. Massive shout out to Asia. Massive shout out to China, Japan. Massive shout out to India. Massive shout out to Pakistan, the Sudan, Israel, Gaza. Massive shout out, love to Ukraine. Massive shout out to Russia. Massive shout out to, remember, as the economics forum in the world has nothing to do with the people that represent what we're all about, which is increasing our wealth. Knowledge base in SHIB and the fundamentals behind it. We're not about politics, right? So massive shout out to Poland. Massive shout out to UK. Massive shout out to Ireland. Massive shout out to Scotland. Massive shout out to Spain, France. Massive shout out to Germany, Italy, Turkey, Poland, Finland, Lithuania, Iceland, Greenland. Massive shout out to you. Massive shout out to Canada. Massive shout out to the US. Wow-wee! Massive shout out to you. Massive shout out to Mexico. Massive shout out to Brazil, Colombia, Peru, Chile. Massive shout out to you. Venezuela. Massive shout out to you. Massive shout out to every single person on the planet, especially those in Australia, because we don't want to leave them out. We don't want to leave out Antarctica. There's not very many people there, but massive shout out to you. Massive love shout out to the entire world. We want to make sure that everybody in Africa gets a hand up. We've been getting some comments from, not comments, but we've been getting some likes from Nigeria, South Africa. And they've come on and checked us out on the website. So massive shout out to the entire world. Want to make sure that everybody in the entire world knows that we love and care for each individual person. Politics aside, right? We don't care about your politics, the politics behind it. It doesn't account for anything that we do here. We're all about you and adding to your wealth and knowledge base. That's the bottom line. We'll see where SHIB is right now. On here, it's at 40128665. It's really doesn't matter. It's way below where it's supposed to be. Absolutely, it's something that's adding value every single day. And when we see these numbers on the sidelines, and we see that we're constantly growing in value, and it's not being reflected in price, and that's the truth of it. It is not being reflected in price. And we expect it to be over 10,000 new subscribers. No, I expect it to be over 1 million subscribers by now, because we're the only channel that offers everybody financial freedom. It's not just one person or one entity. It's everybody financially, to give them that support. Anyway, I'm Will, your host. We're going to rock you out. We're going to do the SHIB rock. Rock and roll is here to stay. We'll go down in history. What's the other one, Jason? Fame. I'm going to live forever. So it should be SHIB. I'm going to live forever. Everybody's going to remember my name. Remember. SHIB. We're going to fly high. Higher than we've ever gone. Beat all-time highs. Increasing wealth every single day as we come in. Absolutely. Massive shout out to everybody. God bless each and every one of you. Jesus loves everybody. That's why our message is for everybody, because we do what Jesus did, right? We love everybody. We care for you. We want to make sure you're financially fit. In order to do that, we want to make sure that everybody has a chance to come into SHIB. That being said, do you hold your SHIB? You can sell it, but we remind you, when you sell it and you want to take capital gains, you have to have capital losses to offset those capital gains. So whatever your country's code, make sure that you're reducing SHIB accordingly, so that you reduce it first so it gains your value as you're reducing it. Give the market a couple of days to accept that before selling the rest of it off, because what happens is when people see a sell-off, they're fearful for whatever reason until they get the knowledge base and SHIB's at all-time highs every time. Then you can understand that the reason why they're in SHIB in the first place is to make money. That's when you know SHIB's in the right direction, because it's always going to go in what direction? Up, right? So like Hulk Hogan trying to feed on the crowd, right? An American hero. All American hero. Remember that? I remember that. I think it was around for what, 2 seasons? 3 seasons, right? All American hero. Check it out. Pretty funny. It's supposed to be the comic relief for Superman. Trust me, it's pretty funny. It's almost like Mork and Mindy. And Elf. Remember Elf? I suggest you fight. What happened to your planet? What do you mean? Yeah, what happened to your planet? We nuked each other. So you left that planet and had to come to our planet, and you're eating our cats. That was Elf. Remember that? That was silly and fundamental show, but it broke it down for you exactly how it played out, right? So that, I mean, you have other TV series that try and get everybody to be conscious about the planet. The new Superman was all about that, right? We drained all our resources. The whole planet collapsed and started a meltdown, and we sent our only son to Earth. And that's how that started. So again, trying to build on the awareness that you can't keep doing what you're doing. Otherwise, you're going to have nothing left. But the truth of the matter is that if you don't use the resources, how can you grow as a nation or as a continent, right? The majority of the stuff that we built today is dangerous. It's very simple. Thank you. This is Will, your host, and have a great and wonderful day. Hope you enjoyed the rest of your day. Hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, please like, subscribe, and comment. Make sure you hit the share notification so you can share with all your friends and family. Remember that we're all about you building wealth. So you should like the channel. You should want to partner. You should want to drive everybody to the channel because it adds to your wealth of creation. And who doesn't want to make more money? Exactly. Nobody. Everybody should want to take part. So thank you so much and have a great, wonderful day. Peace out, everybody. Love everybody. Take good care of yourselves and each other. Have a great, wonderful day. Like, subscribe, comment. Like, subscribe, and comment. It's the easiest thing to do. It doesn't cost you anything. And it adds to the value of the channel. And it reduces SHIB circulating supply at the same time. Woo! Massive win. Woo! Reduction. Woo! Add to your wealth. Woo! Absolutely. And that's why we love this channel. That's why we want to share it, comment, and like, so that everybody can take part. And we want to ensure that everybody can have a chance of being financially independent. Absolutely. Thank you. God bless and good night, everybody. Peace out, all.